Hi, welcome to FabLab Fixes. Today we're going to talk about how to do the alignment of a laser cutter. The laser cutter is actually relatively safe. The lasers are within the enclosure and there's a interlock where if you open it, the laser will shut off. Okay? But you still need to take some precautions. For this alignment thing, when you're starting to cut, because of the spark of the laser, you might want to wear some really dark glasses. These are welding glasses. It's not the wavelength of the laser that you have to worry about. It's the spark that generates whenever it's cutting something. So this is just like if you're looking at a welder, right? You need some type of glasses like these. Something else I also need is gloves. The main reason is because this laser has been used for many years, so it's quite dirty, and just keep my hands clean. But also, like when I'm manipulating the optics, I like to wear gloves so that my oils does not leave residue on the lens. This is the top-down view of the laser cutter. Here is our cutting bed, and this is the laser tube that shoots out a laser, and this is the path of the laser. Here, what you see here, this is a laser or LED diode that shoots out a very weak visible red laser path, and that helps us with alignment. Some laser cutters doesn't have the system. The reason why this is kind of useful is so that we can visually see the path of the laser, because the laser wavelength coming out of the laser tube is not visible to the human eye. So this is the path. And how we align this setup is we go to start from mirror 1 and we make sure that everything is aligned, and then we align mirror 2 and then we align mirror 3. In the meantime, as we're doing that, we're constantly going back and forth to check, and then finally when we reach the mirror 3 and what it looks like on the bottom when we cut, that's when we know it will be fully aligned. So we're going to start doing that right now at mirror 1. So to move all these alignment, we need to open the laser's panels. But anytime we pose or we start cutting, we need to make sure all the panels are down so that there's no chance of laser free flowing into the room or anything. So right now we're at the back of the laser cutter. So we're here looking at this optical configuration. And so here's the laser tube, right? This guy, your beam combiner, the LED diode, and then the mirror, first mirror. So before we do any alignment, it's a good idea to clean your mirror. We've actually replaced our mirrors and optics. We have a video on that, and you can see it in the description. So what we want to do is you need to put a Kapton tape right here in front of the mirror. Now make sure you're not taping onto the mirror so that it leaves adhesive onto the mirror. You're just taping on the side of the mirror so you can see it right here, right? So we're gonna post the laser and it's gonna create a burn mark there. So let's go do that right now. So now we're at the computer and we're going to use this function to post the laser so it leaves a burn mark on the masking tape. Before we do any posting or anything, make sure your laser is enclosed, so everything is down, like your panels are down, things are covered. We're opening it just for visualization. So you will post this. I'm going to do 20 milliseconds. You can do less, you can do more. It really depends on where you are and how powerful your laser wattage is. So I'm going to click this two times. 1, 2. Okay? So now we're going to go back to the laser cutter and see what happens. Alright, now we're back at the laser cutter. So we're going to open this panel and check what happened. So let's look at the masking tape on the mirror, number 1. So we just post the laser, so it shot 2 pulses with 20 millisecond duration. So relatively weak, not a lot of power over time. So we're gonna check this dial is gonna make it hard to see, so I'm gonna block the dial. You can see there's a mark that's left by the laser. So what we typically want to do is adjust this guy so that it is to the center of the burnt mark, which in this case is already is at the center, but typically you would control it with these screws in the back. And we're gonna do the same thing on mirror number 2, and this time when we try to move where the laser ends up, we're gonna actually move this. And so something else to keep in mind is I want this laser dot to be relatively at the center of my mirror. So if we lift this, you can see that it's relatively on the center, right? So you can see the red dot um, and our burnt mark was aligned so that that's where the laser ended up. And then now it's gonna be able to bounce to the next mirror. All right, let's go to the next mirror. All right, so this is mirror number 2. It's all over here, as you can see, and we've actually moved the y-axis here all the way back, so that if it aligns here, it's going to be aligned the whole way, right? The further you are, the more small deviation shows up in your laser alignment. So we're going to do this all the way over here. Okay, so as I can see, like the laser is slightly off from the center, so I'm going to actually move that. So there's an access panel here for the mirror number 1, and we need to use the mirror number 1. So these are the 3 knobs I have to change to alter the where my laser is actually located. So I'm gonna move this, and you will see the laser dot move in mirror number 2. Okay, so I'm at laser. What you're seeing right now is mirror number 2. I've actually outlined where the circle of the mirror is with a charcoal pencil. So I'm gonna move the alignment on mirror number 1 with the 3 screws that I showed you just earlier, and that looks pretty centered to me. So we're gonna start posing just like in mirror number 1 and see where the post lines up with the laser. All right, now we're back at the laser software. So I've actually increased this power because it's a little bit further distance. I'm gonna test fire a few more times so that I can make sure that there's a mark. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's go back to mirror number 2. All right, so we've made a mark, and you can actually see that the alignment is slightly off, but it's still pretty good. But however, I want the alignment to be perfect, so I'm gonna move that laser dot to the center of the burnt mark. You can see it there. You see it? All right. So I'm gonna go back to the mirror number 1. So now we want to move the laser dots, the laser diode, the red dots, to the center of the burnt mark. And to do that, I'm gonna move the LED diode first, right? And then with these controller to the center of the burnt mark, and then these two light sources will have a line, and then I can adjust this guy and move the burnt mark to the center. Alright, so this is the LED diode. I'm going to try to make it so it's as perfect as possible. And that is much better. Okay, so that looks good. And now I'm going to move the red dot of the mirror now. So the burnt mark or the laser mark and the red dot should move together, and I'm going to try to move it back to the center, which is pretty good. You don't need to make it perfect, but if you put it in the center, it gives you the most flexibility when you start adjusting the alignments. Okay, that looks good. Alright, so we have aligned on mirror number 2. Now we're going to go on to mirror number 3, right? I'm actually going to move this guy all the way across. Same principle. The further it is, the more noticeable the minor non-alignment shows up. So if I'm over here and it's lying over here, it should be aligned across the entire bed. Okay. So I'll put this over here. You see how the um, the dot is not actually at the center, so we're gonna change that again. All right. We have a side panel here, which you need a key, and that gives me access to mirror number two's control. So I'm gonna reach my hand in and I'm gonna adjust this, and you'll see the red dot move at mirror number three. All right. Now I'm moving the laser. That is at the center. Again, now I'm gonna do a little bit, a small post, and see if the laser dot and the burnt mark lines up. If not, then I have to go back to mirror number one and adjust it, and then we have to go back from one and then two and then three again. So I've just gone ahead and post the laser. You can see that it's almost perfectly aligned, but it's slightly off. So I'm gonna move the laser dial to the center of the burn mark, and then I'm gonna move both the laser dial and the burn mark to the center. So I'm doing that right now. Okay, now I'm gonna move the laser LED dial on top of the burn mark. Alright, that looks good. So the LED dial and the laser post is completely aligned to this entire path. Now I'm gonna use mirror 1 and 2 to adjust so that the dot is in the center of the circle. That looks pretty good to me. Alright, now we're gonna move on to the next step. Alright, so now the laser has aligned to the mirror and it's shooting down. You can see the LED dial. So I'm gonna pose here, and then I'm gonna move this bed down and see if it travels. Okay, so you see our post is very small because it's quite focused. So that hole, it actually aligns perfectly. So now I'm gonna move the entire bed down. And we'll see if it travels. You can see it's traveling ever so slightly. So I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna move the laser dial back to where the hole is, and then our entire laser cutter will be aligned. So it's still traveling a little bit, but it's just very minute. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, now I'm adjusting the LED dial again. Just trying to find where the location is. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. So the entire thing is aligned. Now I'm gonna do a test cut, and we'll see what it looks like. Alright, so now we've actually laser engraved our logo on this far corner, and look at the precision. So it looks like the laser is operating very well, and I'm quite happy with the alignment, and that's how you align everything. So I just want to recap of what we did here. Alright, so again, we started with this laser tube and we were here, and we try to align um, the laser with the LED dial at mirror 1, then we moved on to mirror 2, and then we went back to mirror 1 to do the alignment. Then we went to mirror 3, and then we went to mirror 2 and 1 to redo the alignment. And finally we did the alignment at the cutting surface, so on this side. And then sometimes I have to go back to make sure that when the bed goes up or down, the laser does not travel. And so there's a lot of going back and forth, but you gotta be pretty methodical about this. It's a little bit more involved, but it's pretty straightforward if you follow the video. And that is how you align a laser cutter. Thanks for watching.